right, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about translating expressions. At the top where it says topic, I want you all to write translating expressions. That's our topic today. So write it right now. Take a second. Write translating expressions. Okay? And on the left where it says key words and phrases or main ideas, that's where I want you all to take notes. Sometimes when you're watching a video, you have questions, but you can't ask them because it's a video. So make sure you're taking notes or writing key words to the left column as you guys watch the video. Let's talk about translating an expression. There are some key words in math that we get every time we see expressions, and they mean certain operations. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to translate when they're telling us to do a certain operation. Let's start with addition, okay? Go ahead and take a moment and write down the words that we see when we are supposed to add. Here's our key words. The first word is sum. Go ahead and write down sum. The second one is total. The third one is plus. The fourth one is increased by. And the fifth one is more than. Write that down, okay? When I see these words, it is an indicator that I am going to be adding. All right, the next set of words tells us when we are going to subtract, okay? When I see the words different, minus, increase by, less than, and really star less than, guys, and subtracted from, star subtracted from, those are words that are common. Less than is a big one, okay? These are the common words that I am going to see. Those words mean subtraction. Okay, when we are multiplying, and I do want to take a note, I want you guys to see the dot up here. That is the indicator that we're multiplying. A lot of times you'll see a dot. A lot of times you'll see parentheses. Okay, so you can put parentheses up here to let you know. A lot of times if I see two parentheses together, or if I have a number beside parentheses, that's an indication of multiplication when we're talking about algebra. And then the last one, but you'll rarely see this, guys, is the X. Okay, and why would you rarely see X? Tell me why. In algebra, why would we rarely see like 3x for multiplication? You know how there's the x for multiplication? Why won't we have x anymore? Yes. You use the dot. Why else would we not have x for multiplication anymore? What happened? What happens if you have x for multiplication? Yeah. But if I use variables, think about variables. Yes, Tia said we use variables, and the common variable that we use is x. So this is why you'll rarely see x in multiplication when we're talking about algebra. Okay, you'll see the numbers written together like a times b. Okay, so you'll have like an ab for multiplication, but you'll have them in parentheses, but very rarely will you see an X. You'll see a dot typically. Okay, so our numbers for multiplying or our symbols for multiplication is times, product of, twice, double, and triple. Okay. Double obviously means multiplying by 2, right? Triple, 3, okay? That is multiplication. All right, when an expression that's telling you to divide will use these words, okay? It will use quotient, separate, divided by, and half or thirds or fourths, etc. Okay? That means I am dividing. That is a signal or indicator of division. The next one is parentheses. Okay, parentheses phrases. Parentheses deals with grouping. Now, that means that sometimes we have to group certain expressions together. When we group expressions together, we will have these type of words. Times the sum of, times the difference between. Okay, that is indicators. When you hear times the blah, 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 you need to group that entire expression together. Okay, that's what that means. All right, in the space where it says turnaround phrases, I want you all to write those phrases that I had you star back in subtraction, which is less than and subtracted from, okay? And I want to talk to you about what the turnaround phrases mean. It literally means to turn around. So if I say that 7, if I say 7 is 5 less, or let me do this, not that, let's erase this. If I say a number is, I'm going to say a number is 5 less than 7, okay? So a number is 5 less than 7. That would be, I would think there's some number x that's 5 less than 7. 5, and I'll actually put the number 5, okay? So 5 less than 7. Well, even though x is in the front, right? When I say a turn around phrase, okay, I'm going to turn this phrase around, okay? There's some number x that is 5 less than 7. Okay, so that means that I have to say, hey, 7 minus 5 is going to give me some number x. Notice I turned the phrase around. Do you guys see that? How I had to flip? Does everybody see that? How I had to flip the phrase around? There's some number x that's 5 less than 7. Well, in order for me to write that, I had to flip the phrase, right? That means that 7 minus 5 is equal to x. Everybody see that? Yeah, okay, good. Let's talk about what these phrases mean. And we'll kind of let's use our code that we created to make sense of these phrases. Okay, the product of a number and 3. Well, product was multiplication, right? And I just put an X for multiplication, but you know what? I'm going to put that dot so we know that that's what we're talking about. Product was multiplication, and we're going to call that number N because we don't know what it is. And then we have 3. Well, when it says product, it says multiply. So that means I'm taking 3 times N, or it's going to be 3N. I created an expression. Okay, do you guys see how I translated what they said? Number 2, The difference between a number and 10. Well, I'm going to call that number n, and then I have 10. Difference meant subtraction. If I look at my key, difference was subtraction. So I'm taking n minus 10. N minus 10. The quotient of a number and negative 5. Well, I'll call that number n because I don't know what it is, right? And then I have my negative 5. Quotient was what? Well, that was division. Yep, good e-learners. I see you participating in the chat. So that means that I'm going to write n divided by 5 or negative 5. And I did it as a fraction. Or, guys, you could do it the old school way where you can say, hey, n divided by negative 5. They're both the same. Okay? 4 subtracted from a number. Okay, well, I know 4 is the number 4. Subtracted from is subtracted from. And then a number, I'm going to say n. But wait, guys. This is what type of phrase? Be careful. This is a what type of phrase? What type of phrase is this? Okay, this is a turnaround phrase. So I can't say 4 minus n because it's a turnaround phrase. I actually have to say n minus 4. So we're going to watch out for those turnaround phrases, and we want to make sure we write them in the right order, okay? The sum of twice a number and 7, okay? So I am going to be adding, there's my sum, and then twice a number is multiplication, right? So I got the number, but I need to multiply by 2. Twice a number. And I got 7. Okay? So here we go. The sum of 2n, twice a number, plus 7. Okay? Now, guys, let's go to the last one. The product of a number and 10 increased by 1. The product of a number. So that's n and 10. Hey, when they say product, that means I'm multiplying. Miss Bennett is going to put the dot there. And then I'm going to increase by. Remember, increase by was adding. So I need to multiply 10 times n, and then I need to add 1. Look at me translating what this stuff means. Translating what this means. So this would be a 10 times n plus 1, or in our algebraic way, we're just going to say 10n plus 1. Okay, 10n plus 1. And it says 4 less than a number squared. Okay, 4 less than a number squared. So I know that what I'm dealing with is the number 4 less than is subtracting, some number is n, and then squared is to the second power. Okay? It's to the second power. Now, 4 less than a number squared, well, less than, remember, is our turnaround phrase. So that means that I am going to turn this around. This is n squared minus 4. Okay, turnaround phrase. You got to flip them. Good. All right, the next one. Twice a number divided by 5. Twice was multiplying, and specifically by 2. I'm going to multiply some number, and then I got to divide it by 5. Look at me translating. This is just 2n divided by 5. 2n over 5. Or if you wanted to write it the old school way, and I call this the old school way because we don't typically write like this in algebra, but this would be correct. 2n divided by 5. Okay? Hey guys, let's move on to
Miss Anna, your